Welcome to the Women in Leadership Body, Mind, Soul, and Business podcast. I'm Charlie.
And I'm Heather. Together, we are working to connect women in leadership and business to build relationships and empowering each other to improve the health and wellness of our community, body, mind, and soul, sharing the hearts and souls of who we are and what we do.
Today's special guest is the mastermind behind New View Empowerment Coaching. Her specialty is empowering you to discover the life you are meant to live and support to make it happen. Joan Thorson, thank you for joining us today.
Hello.
We are blessed by your presence.
Oh, thank you.
So,
Right back.
Joan, I have known you for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, more than 10 years now.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Getting there.
Heather and I have actually been working with you as our coach for a couple of months now, but we want you to let our listeners and the world know who you are, what you do, and what is the heart of what you're doing.
Ooh, that could go on. Yeah, that's quite a good question. Who I are. I met Charlie as a non-trad student, so I went back to school a number of years ago. That was a big leap to do that as an older person. So doing things, as I'm getting older, it's kind of fun doing new things. So I live in Stanwood. We've been here 4.5 years, give or take. I think I've always had a coaching mindset, just didn't know it, and jumped in last October to training. And absolutely love it. It's really, it's just such a lovely way to have people discover for themselves what it is that's inside them. Everybody has the answers inside them. It's just pulling them out to get, to hear it, to understand it, and then to act on it is the trick. But coaching is lovely. You walk alongside someone, you just encourage their own ideas and their own interests, and I really have found a pretty cool niche. So that's kind of in a nutshell.
I love that. So when you work with people, what is your favorite part about working with people and helping them dig out their goals and dreams?
I'm discovering that I'm a real body language geek. I didn't realize how much I love body language, but the best part is during a session, if somebody comes in, you can tell the beginning of the session, they're tired, it's been a long day, whatever. But through the discussion and them coming up with some ideas and action steps, their whole countenance changes, and they're sitting up better, they're brighter. It's really, that to me, that's energizing for myself, because you can just see them gaining energy, and it came out of themselves. It wasn't anything I said. I don't do profound, I don't give you the profound information that you have to work on. It's all within you. And I think that gives people such an inner sense and empowerment. If we're going to go to that amazing word, it's empowerment. And it's a two-way street. I'm empowered as well when I see people discover things like that for themselves.
And what you described was the energetic change, that you come in feeling crap, like, how do I move forward through this situation? And you just kind of pick it out. Like it was like, oh, well, tell me a little more about that. And what do you think this is? And then the next thing you know, you're like, oh,
yeah,
that's what I need to do. I don't want to do that. Okay, that's why I'm avoiding it, right? Like
that's a whole different, yes. If but people don't.
I mean, like when I in our case, in the moment I was referred to, it was something that I knew that I needed to do, but I was like avoiding doing it, and I was like, okay, now it's stopping me from moving forward, and now I have to do it, right? Like,
well, and you discover some of the what the blockage is a little bit, or what the hesitation, and you kind of go a little bit deeper and figure out, you realize it's like, oh, that's what it was that was kind of stopping me. But you talk through it and you're like, wow, that's really not that bad, and it's really something I need to do. And you kind of, you just hear yourself kind of convincing, or you realize that, oh, that's not something that's going to stop me. And and you come up with an action plan and you have energy to go do it, and you get it done and you feel so much better. So, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Literally. A testimony. Absolutely, you do. You feel better when you actually do it. And then it's like, that was in me, but I wasn't pulling that out. Like, it was going to take me a while to get there. Like, I could keep working on it, but.
And then the next time is easier. You know, you realize you're like, oh, hey, I did that. I came up, I answered that question, or we checked that off the box. And then, then the next time you're like, I can do this. So it just builds on itself. It's kind of cool.
And then the next question we have for you is, when somebody comes to you to work with you, what does that look like for them? We know what it looks like for us, but in your own words, when you go to work with somebody, what is the first steps they would take? Like the first steps you would mutually take together?
Right. Usually the first session is just talking about, getting to know you, getting to know each other, getting comfortable with each other. And then sort of just talking about where are you stuck, or what is the blockage? What are your goals? We start at the end and we're like, 6 months from now, what would you love to have accomplished? Big world picture. Don't do any, but it's like, no, we're brainstorming. We're coming up with what would be the perfect thing 6 months from now that could blow your mind. And then we talk about that and unpack that a little bit and start getting into why would that be such a cool thing, and why is that important to you, and those sorts of questions. But then setting up some really long-term goals, which then I think the client becomes hopeful. It's something that they've been thinking about, obviously, when it comes up, that it's important enough to talk about. And I think that just puts some hope, because we talk about, yes, let's do it. Let's work on it. And you start, getting some ideas about how you're going to get to it. And I think the first session, I hope that clients will leave with some hope that, this is possible. We could do this. And that's kind of the first session. It's just goal setting, but yet dreaming big kind of thing. It's sort of fun. So,
yeah. And then for the people that don't fully understand what coaching is and what it is not, what is coaching and what is not coaching?
Okay. Yep. Coaching it's 100% client led. And it is future forward thinking. So therapy, some people think coaching is like therapy. It is in the fact that you're getting to emotions and you're talking about, issues, but you're looking forward. So anything in the past, that's kind of where therapy steps in. So therapy deals with past issues and the past that's causing blockage. Coaching goes from here forward. So we all the time thinking forward. Sometimes we have to address things that are in the past, but not in a therapy way. This is not therapy. It's also not mentoring. Mentoring is, partnering with someone who has expertise in that area, has been there, done that, and is able to give you advice in that direction. That's not mentoring. I don't claim to know about your situation. My job is to ask questions. As we talk, different themes come up. Emotions, different words. Again, you don't script what you say. So sometimes things come out that you didn't realize. And then I'll pick up on that. I said, so you said guilty 3 times. What is that? What is that talking? What are we talking about? And that allows me to hear them and reflect back. And so really I can't emphasize enough how client led it is. The client comes up with the topics. The client comes up with action steps. Each session, we come up with some goals, things that they can do between now and the next session. And the client comes up with all of that. I encourage, I ask questions, we clarify, and move forward from that. So that's where it's different, is I have no advice for you. I don't do that sort of thing. It's questions to get it out of you. So,
which is super helpful. Like, for us, the sessions that we have had with you, you've really pulled out some pretty deep stuff
Mhm.
out of us. Deep questions that we were trying to answer and trying to figure out how to move past or whatever that looks like. And it's like, oh, now we get it. Okay. Duh. Like it's
Well,
yeah.
And it's so lovely too that, you have your hour session. That's each session's about an hour every 2 weeks, give or take, depending on schedules. And besides that hour, then you have 2 weeks and that conversation is in your head. You keep reflecting and you're like, wow, and so then within your own self, you can go deeper or kind of gain more understanding about, wonder why that came out or what does that really mean in my day to day? And so the learning continues. It's not just that 1 hour, but it like you said, it brings up things you didn't know were there, or you did know, we really, somewhere down deep, we know it, but it came to the surface and now you're like, I wonder why. So
That goes right along with the theme for the week of quieting the heart mind so you can know what's underneath.
Yep.
So like literally like these things are bothering us or they're stopping us because we need to take care of something. And literally this is an avenue to quiet that so that, and then it also has the accountability piece because you're not just, it's not one and done. It's like you're following up in a couple weeks and then in another couple weeks. So you're being shown through your own process. It's really amazing.
Right.
Yeah.
And I look at it as a form of self-care, because you are digging deep to pull out those answers to those questions that you intuitively already know the answer to, and you have to quiet the heart mind in order to do that. So that's part of these deeper questions, but why, and how are you going to do that? What does that look like? These deeper questions that just keep digging and keep digging and keep digging until you get to the root of whatever, the issue is, whatever you're trying to work through. And, the same thing. I mean, yesterday, I spent all day cleaning my house because it was bothering me so much that I couldn't focus on it.
And I really needed to do like office work, computer, paperwork stuff. I'm like, you clean, I'm going to do this. So we did. And we took breaks together and she cleaned all day.
Yeah. And I really needed that for my own self-care, for my own heart mind. So sometimes self-care looks like laundry and scrubbing floors, you guys, just so you know. But again, that's something that has come out through coaching. It's like, I need to handle these things that are bothering me so they stop bothering me.
Yeah.
Right.
Even like you said, even if it is laundry, it's like, but if that really, and you don't second guess yourself. That's part of what coaching we try to get around is don't say, yeah, but that's silly or that's not. No. If that really fills you up and moves you forward, then do your laundry, for heaven's sakes.
Get it done.
It's like if you're like constantly thinking, I need to get that laundry done. Oh my gosh, every day there's more and I just need to do it. And it's just like back here, like it's stopping you from using that part of your brain on something productive that can move you forward. So
and that's the classic line. Coaches love to hear somebody say, I just feel stuck. And it's like, okay, that's my intro. Let's do it. So because that is, I mean, if the laundry is sticking you, if it, whatever is causing you to just not move forward, let's talk about it and move forward. So
exactly. And it could be something as minute as laundry, or it could be something a lot bigger, which sometimes that kind of stuff comes up too in our sessions together. So I just really appreciate.
But there's a lot behind avoiding laundry. You could really go deep into why that's an avoidance, so
right.
Yeah. It is these mundane things that we think have no impact can really, if you start looking deep and just opening up to what, like you said, your intuition, what you're telling yourself, it's like, wow, the learning it's something. Like you said before, you learn something every time you come on, have a new guest or whatever. It's like,
Yeah,
man, even
absolutely.
sitting there putting the laundry in and just embracing how you feel. You're like, oh, hey, this is new. So that's all good. All of it.
Yeah. And it felt so good to walk into my house yesterday evening after returning from running a couple errands, and my house was clean and it smelled good.
Mhm.
And I was like, this is nice. I want this to last like
It's a
all week.
Beautiful gift to yourself.
Yeah,
Mine is,
yeah.
it's Washington, and
Yeah.
boots create
Right.
mud, and mud happens.
Mud happens.
Yeah.
So all that work yesterday, then I walk out of my bedroom this morning and there's little mud chunks on the floor. And I'm like, I'm just gonna sweep
It
it up.
trails right to the person that did it.
Uh-huh.
There is
It's
no
like, I know
secret.
who did this.
I know where that came from. Yeah.
But and that brings us back to our theme of the week, the Verti, the stuff going on in the heart mind, right? And calming that heart mind, so that you can get a sense of clarity.
Mhm.
So I encourage you guys, if you would like an empowerment coach, to reach out to Joan. She is amazing. And they would do that by doing what? What is the best way for them to get in contact with you?
I think if they can message you guys, and then you can share my email. At this
Mhm.
point, we're
Yep.
eventually working on a website.
Yeah.
Heather knows how techie phobic I am, so we'll get there.
Right? That's part of your
You
own
now
personal
have a
goals, right?
Facebook business
That's true.
page. So
There is
she
a
has,
Facebook page. Yeah.
so she has a fan page, and we did drop that in the description.
Oh, good.
We
Okay.
also put it in the Facebook Live. We dropped all of those links if you want to get a hold of Joan.
Cool.
It's all there.
It's
Thank
all
you.
there. Yeah.
And we put your email in the description, so people
Okay.
can email you. But absolutely, if someone wanted help connecting with you, of course, we will absolutely help them.
Yeah, because I mean, like, again, like Heather knows, I'm like, I don't know.
It's a
All
whole
good.
new learning curve for you, right?
Yes. Yes, this is where I'm like, I am so stuck and I don't want to do it, but
But
you
you've
know.
been doing so good at working through that too. So, like,
Yeah.
and that's only been one session that you and I have. Yes, so that was fun.
That was fun.
Yeah.
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 So we're gonna move right into today's meditation, you guys. So let's take a few deep breaths. If you're sitting, put both feet on the floor or nice and cross-legged, whichever way is comfortable. If you're driving and you'd like to do the meditation, please pull over to do so. Find yourself someplace nice and calm and quiet. Take a few deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. Today we are on day 21 from Meditations from the Mat by Rolf Gates, Gina Kensington. I learn by going where I have to go. Theodore Roski. I had breakfast the other morning with a woman who wants me to help her develop as a teacher. In an effort to be helpful, I asked a few questions about her life up to now. One of my questions was, what has been hard? She took a deep breath, then told me that a few years ago, when she was 2 months pregnant with her second child, she and her husband were told that there was something gravely wrong with the baby, but the doctors could not be certain what it was. The couple was told that abortion might be their best option. Instead, they decided to continue the pregnancy and spent the next 7 months in uncertainty. The baby was born healthy in every respect. She is now a beautiful, vibrant child. When they look upon her, her parents still recall the 7 long months of faith and courage. The truth is, we are all so very, very vulnerable. Life is as it is. We don't even have control over the health of our children. The only thing we can control is our attitude. We have the choice of life or death, love or fear in each moment. And we bear the responsibility for that choice in each moment. Nowhere is this more apparent than when we embark on regular yoga practice. We set out to better ourselves, only to find legions of reasons to break our commitment to health. We say it is too difficult to make the hard choice today. And yet the obstacles in our path are the path. Every time we stretch beyond our resistance and our fear, we make a choice for life. And every time we choose life, we find that fear loses its grip on us. We all know more than we think we do, and we are stronger than we believe ourselves to be. We come to our mats and to our lives to learn by going where we have to go. I can't tell you how much I needed to hear that today.
We always keep tissues handy because we
Yeah.
never know where this is gonna
We
go.
never know where it's gonna go, right? Because we don't. There's this, there's a certain amount that we do plan for these podcasts, but then there's so much that we leave to authenticity, because if we feel that authentic voice and that authentic spirit is really, really important. And I needed to hear that today. And I know maybe there's somebody else out there that needed to hear that today.
Mhm.
That we cannot control everything we have. We can't control our children's health, right? And no, the path is the path.
The path is the path. The journey is the path.
The journey is the path, right?
Mhm.
And it's not a straight line,
It's not.
And so remembering to take care of ourselves along the way, I think is
Choosing love.
choosing love.
And grace, giving yourself grace,
Yep.
Yeah.
that it's okay. It is the path that's meant to be, and it's okay.
And it's okay. Oh my God. So
Yeah.
just a little background on why I'm over here bawling like a baby. Okay. So
It's been a rough week.
B, our producer, and also my daughter, has type 1 diabetes and has had type 1 diabetes since she was 10 years old. She is now 17. And this last time she went into DKA, 6 months ago or so?
It was like 2 years ago.
Was it 2 years?
It feels like 6 months, because we have no time
It's been a
reference
really
since
long
2020.
2 year, right?
No,
Okay.
no reference.
So
of
I guess
time.
it was
It was before I got my appendix removed.
yeah.
Wow.
So it's been a little
Okay.
while. But this last time she went into DKA, we were struggling with changing insulin brands and things like that, and it ended up being bad enough that it triggered her neuropathy in her feet. So if you're diabetic and you have neuropathy, you know what I'm talking about. But basically, her legs and feet go numb from about mid calf down, and it's like when you would, for those of you who are having have not experienced this, it's like when your foot goes to sleep and then it hurts so much,
Because the nerves are on
because the
fire.
nerves
Because all of those little nerve endings are just on fire. Like they're angry.
right.
They're like, hey, this isn't how we're supposed to be. What's going on?
Yeah,
It's really awful.
So me as a parent I've been struggling with the health of my child because this is not something I would ever wish for anybody's 17-year-old child to go through. And you know, it's hard to be a medical mom.
It is. And a friend used to always say to me, special kids have special moms, because we know that not everyone is equipped to handle these situations.
Right.
So that's a reminder that we are meant to be their moms,
Mhm.
and we are equipped with what they need to get through this and what we need to get through this.
Right.
And it's hard watching our kids hurt and suffer when we can't fix it for them. Like, I think that's like, especially as a mom, we want to fix it.
We want
And-
to fix it. We want to make them feel better. We want to kiss the boo-boos and make the pain go away, right? But we can't always do that. And especially as medical parents, I think it's super, super difficult. So
We show up every day for them, and then sometimes we forget to take that time that we need, because then it's like the next day and then the next thing, and then we also are battling our own PTSDs on top of it. So sometimes it doesn't hit us until we sit down to do a meditation, and
And that's where 2 years turns into 6 months. With how long ago? Yeah, exactly.
right.
So you know, I've been struggling with that as a parent. So that came up today to remind me that it's okay.
Mhm.
And another piece is that it's been a really hard week. Like, when we have medically needy people in our lives, sometimes there's the week where you have medical appointments every single day of the week, and you're like, this
And
is
sometimes 2
hard.
or 3 in a
Sometimes
day,
you know,
right?
like, or multiple appointments and multiple places all over the up and down the I-5 corridor here, because a lot of our medical stuff is in the Seattle or Everett area. You know, for specialties, and that's a drive for us. So then we have to prepare for that. You know, there's a lot of that goes into getting our kids to these appointments,
Mhm.
and the time. And I know that anyone that lives in our area that's listening to this will understand that, you know, the drive, you never know going into Seattle what the traffic's going to be like.
Right.
You know, you're going to hit it just right and be 2 hours early, or hit it just wrong and be 2 hours late. You don't know.
Right.
Like, it's, yeah,
It
there's
can-
like
it can go
so
both
many
ways.
levels of stress involved. And then, you know, sometimes we just need that self-care where we take the time to clean our home and get the energy going in the right direction again.
Yeah.
Clear
Yeah.
out.
And you know, I think, you know, cleaning my house yesterday really moved a bunch of energy around, and now I'm dealing with some things, processing some things with my emotions that I've been needing to process, and that's okay too. So I'll spend some more time later in meditation and just, you know, work through some things,
And that's where all these tools that we've been talking about since we started the podcast come into play. So Charlie will get her yoga mat out, and she will get herself moving in the right way for her body, and then she will take a rest
Mhm.
and let that kind of just solidify and relax. That's part of the process, right?
Right. We're not just sharing these tools with you guys. We are active users of these tools that we share with you guys through the Yoga Sutras and through the meditations.
Because we don't want to stay in that energy, right? Like, I don't want to stay in the energy of being homeless,
Right.
or the energy of being abandoned, or, you know, this is the things that we're processing through.
Or, you know, the medical moms, you're not a bad mom.
Oh gosh, you're not. You're incredible moms. And the fact that you think you're a bad mom makes you a good mom, because bad moms don't even think of that. They don't care. They don't care.
So moms out there listening, you are a good mom. Give yourself a pat on the back, you know, give yourself a hug today. Hug a
Gosh,
friend. if you can.
even know a mom in our circle that just wanted to get her kid a COVID test so he could go to a Silvertips game. And
Huh.
because of the surgeons right now, that's not available. Like,
Yeah.
and you know, it's like,
They're out of tests.
I didn't want to have to make that decision that you couldn't go because of COVID. So it happened for us. But, it's like crap. Like, I just want my kid to be able to go experience things. There's all of these things that are happening in our world.
Yeah. And we want our kids to experience things, and the experience that the children have had, our young generation has had over the last going on 3 years now, has not.
I heard this was season
good.
3 the
Yeah.
other day. I heard someone say
Season 3.
season 3. I was like, oh my gosh.
Here we are.
No.
Right?
I vote no. We are going for abundance and joy.
Should have been canceled after episode 1.
Right?
Get that out of here.
Who
We're done.
funded this?
Right?
I know.
We're over it. We're over it.
Who said that could happen?
Yeah.
Okay.
As part of my journey, I have been on a weight loss journey, and a lot of things will come up for me, like Charlie did, like today, like something will hit me, and that's part of processing through it. So my goal is still to lose another 50 pounds and see how that feels. I was excited this morning to see the scale move, because I've been building muscle and my muscles have been sore, and I've been doing a lot more stuff because I can. And so I was excited the scale wasn't going up. Like, I was like, that's good. That means I'm building muscle, losing fat. That's what we want. We want to be healthier. And so it was to see the scale budge. That's what means I'm hitting, another threshold. Like, it's exciting to see that going in the right way. One of the things that I'm using to do that is a Taka drink, is what it's called, TAKA, and I love it. Just hit me up if you want some or want connections to know more about it. I am so excited because Carolyn, our medicine woman in our group, is going to be doing these little 5-minute blurbs about the ingredients. I'm like, thank you, because I get so overwhelmed by all the goodness in it. I'm like, it just makes you feel better. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, it's so exciting about how much energy it gives me, and that has collagen in it and all these things that give you energy. It has stuff that supports your brain and gut health and like all the things. But I'm somebody that likes to break things down by ingredient and stuff, and that's what Carolyn's going to do for us. So I'm very excited to do that. So if you want to get over there and learn about that, hit me up and I'll get you over to where you can learn about Carolyn's ingredients. Oh my goodness. So do we have any up and coming events? Oh my gosh.
Oh man.
Next
We
week.
start Tuesday afternoon podcast next week, you guys, 4 p.m. Pacific. We are going to be back for a live Tuesday podcast. Yes.
Her goal setting special is also going to be coming up to YouTube here soon.
Oh yes, we will. We have a special 7-part email series that will be being finished up here this week. So the access to that is through our Patreon subscription.
Right.
So if you would like to have access to that, let us know. We'll get you over to Patreon. Thank you, B, for reminding me. That's exciting.
I love that voice from off camera. It's like, oh, there's that voice.
She's like, you don't have that written down. I know
I'll let you know.
So, and then this summer, we are going to be joining Allie Jean again for a summer Women Empowering Women Business E-Summit. The one they had at the first week of the year. So what was that, 2 weeks ago, last week?
Oh
was
my
that
gosh.
last week?
It
I
was
don't know.
I don't even
2
know.
weeks ago?
2 weeks ago?
The first week of the year, it was absolutely
That was
amazing.
last week. It was last month because January has 4 months. These weeks have been really long.
They have been really long. We're gonna have a bunch of the guests from the January last week's E-Summit on our show, so you don't want to miss them. They were absolutely amazing with Allie Jean at the E-Summit, and we'd love to have you join us here as we continue on the conversation. So yeah, we're really excited to see where 2022 is taking us, you guys.
Well, thank you so much, Joan, for joining us today in this conversation.
Thank you for inviting me. It was fun. New experiences. It's all good.
New experiences, all good things, right? Lots of
Yeah.
things to learn together. And thank you, listeners. Please do all the things, follow us in all the places.
You know where to find us.
Yeah.
And let us know if you need that Patreon link, we'll get you hooked up with that 7-day email course. It's pretty exciting.
Yeah. Yay! Thank you for listening to the Women Empowering Women Body, Mind, Soul, and Business podcast. We love having you, and we will see you next time. Namaste.
I was like, we're making this up because we're like, oh, we got
This is not the E-Summit anymore.
one call of action. Okay, we got this. Patreon it is. So if you see the red live triangle up.
And for extra bonus points, and I think we're on episode of
I lost track of the
Season
bigger
2.
number. Yeah. And
Yeah.
we are playing, we're in the world blowing up like, yeah.
it's but it.
How are we doing over there, Mia?
I'll fall over. Whoa. There we go.
No falling over, no locking
Oh.
knees.
Big
They're not that
breaths.
deep is what you're saying.
Okay. Okay. Look at the bunny.
Look at the bunny.
Look at the bunny. We are talking to a cute bunny. I mean, Joan today.
I'll put ears on. Shall I do that?
Ah.